evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is Tuesday night. It's the last week of summer. And let's see what the market's going to present us as NVDA is about to have their earnings at the close of tomorrow. So we'll check it out, see what's going on. And first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. How is everybody? And I don't know if anybody tuned in, but we did an ETF 500 show for about an hour and 10 minutes or so. If you tuned in, I know Laptop Travel, Luis Rodriguez were both on there, and a couple other people I'm sure that are tuned in. So you could go back and listen, and that could be a very good opportunity right now if you go back and listen to that show and what we have going on. So here's the heat map right here, and that Microsoft was down. We thought it was coming down. The video is looking pretty good going in the earnings right there. Google was hopping around, Meta was hopping around, Amazon, Tesla, they were both hopping around, and Apple is up, and Amazon, Tesla are both up as well. SPY is up as well, and it did jump up and looks pretty good for tomorrow, I'm not going to lie. So that is looking good. NVIDIA's not looking bad. We were keeping an eye on it all day today, and it honestly looks pretty good right there. Going into earnings tomorrow, I can't imagine them really being bad. And you know that the market will get cruising off of them earnings. That's for sure. It's a big day tomorrow, Luis Rodriguez. That's for sure. And the 4 a.m. Warriors had HKPD 145% and IVVD at 103%. And the entire watch list was up 42%. And that was this morning. So, yeah, they're crushing it. 4 a.m. Warriors. They have their entire page now in our Discord, and that's pretty impressive. And it's amazing, and I'll be part of them guys, that's for sure. And we'll be crushing that market, and you know that. And here we go. Let's go through, see what's going on, what's going to be setting up for tomorrow and even next week as we're going to end summer here. And we have Monday off for Labor Day, so don't forget about that. It will be a short week next week and as we get into the middle of the week. But again, it all lies on NVIDIA tomorrow and its earnings. So NVIDIA unveiled a new robotic brain on Monday that promises to revolutionize productivity. That's pretty wild, Luis Rodriguez. And I just don't see them going down on these earnings. You know, I'm not an earnings buff, but these look pretty good, the chart anyway. And MASK ripped today. Then the brokers pulled the plug on buy orders. You got to step back and see if this is a new normal or just a phase right here. So let's look at MASK, Chris Abate, and see what's going on with that one. And it did get ripping there, 73 to 111, and now it's back to 57. So there you are. Wow, you're right. And pretty interesting. No news right there. Don't see anything, but definitely ran up. And yeah, you just got to get out of these things as they're ripping up. You can't expect them to run forever, even though we definitely want to. And it's hard to hit that sell button because it keeps going up and up and up. But eventually, when you get through that 20 right there, you got to try to find something to lock in some profits. And you're never going to know that they're going to pull the plug on you and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But that's our market today too, Chris. It's pretty wild, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, definitely get on Webull, and it seems a lot easier on there than all the other platforms. I definitely think that. And so I hope that can help. And MDG, that Mongo or whatever we looked at last night, isn't that what it was, MDG? Oh, no, I thought it. Wait, hold on. What the heck am I typing in? Is that what it is? MGD or MDG? What is Mongo? Because that's not it. What is that thing? MDB, that's what it is. We're trying to make us drink right there. MDG, MGD is the alcohol. Holy cow, I'm all confused with letters right now. Anyway, thank you, Laptop Travel. MDB right here. And it did rip in the after hours. We looked at it last night, remember? And it was getting set up for some reason. I would say it had pretty good earnings. I'm not exactly sure, but it went ripping like 30% right there in the after hours. Let's see right here. We'll just hop on one of these bad boys, and let's see MDB. What isn't it typing? MDB there we go. And yeah, look at that thing ripped up 218 to 279. It's at 279.50 right now. Wow, quite impressive right there from Mongo, and that is cruising along, that's for sure. Tesla very close to making a higher high on the Dowie if they get through to 367. And MDBX 2-time ETF, what is that one right there? MDBX MDBX. Let's see, MDBX. And that is an MDB. I didn't even know they had a, there you go. So look at that thing right there. Didn't even know they had a trade, an ETF, but it looks like it just started up like a week ago. And yeah, look at that bad boy, MDB. So that's one to keep on our radar right there. 2 times ETF. We like that. And definitely switching your short-term trades to the Webull. 4 a.m. starts. Can't beat it. No, Chris, you absolutely can't. And you have to do it in this market. It's just, I don't know. You just have to pivot and change with the times. And the times are right now. You don't really have a choice anymore. And I think I probably should have changed about a year ago, to be completely honest with you, Chris. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, why didn't I do this like a year ago? It would have made things a hell of a lot easier. And anyway, and probably locked in way more profits. I'm not going to lie. So there you go. And Laptop Travel. So what's been amazing even to him is the accuracy of many of the provided price targets, which he shows in his charts that are pre-plotted there. So yeah, it's I'm telling you, Webull is awesome, guys. You got to check it out. If you're not on it, definitely sign up. I'm telling you, I have a referral thing, and I'm pretty sure you get fractional shares, so I don't even get anything. So I'll send it over to you, Chris. Hold on, let me make a note. I'll send you that bad boy, and then I'll post it out or whatever. But Chris, Webull referral. That way you can get some fractional share. I'm almost positive you get them. I don't think I get anything, and that's perfectly good. I don't mind. And I'd rather you get some fractional shares, get the Webull started, so you can actually trade like like you need to in this market condition with 4 a.m. So anyone else that needs it, just let me know, or I can post it out for you as whatever you guys want. But yeah, you guys get something. Like I said, I forget what the heck it is. Speaking of which, TrendSpider has a really good deal. I will post that out. Nader hit me up with a message, and I'll definitely post that bad boy out because that's a good one. And Laptop Travel, how have you been liking your TrendSpider there? Because I'm telling you, it is quite incredible. Like, there's so much stuff that you can do. Again, I probably don't even use it to its full capacity, but I just like the charts, and I love my scanners and stuff. So I can go through there at any moment and pick out some really good ones that I probably haven't seen. JP Morgan's looking pretty good right there. And that one's looking pretty good. Newmont, not even familiar with it, but Google's getting ready to try to set up. And Kinder Morgan, I forgot what it was called, but that one's trying to get set up. URI right there, United Rentals. And CRWD. CRWD is good old CrowdStrike. And that's finally getting set up there, Luis Rodriguez. We might have to add that to our list right here, CRWD, and that one is trying to get set up. That's a matter of getting moving. HUBB looking pretty good right there. I'm not familiar with it, but we're about to check it out right here. And then we'll get cruising through the market and see what you guys want to see in the rest of the market. But yeah, I figured that setup was probably looking pretty good from the other chart. We might have to jot that one down. Hub. Not sure what the heck it even is. Electrical equipment parts. Hubnell, never even heard of it, but Hub looks pretty good right there. And PCAR could get moving, but Hub looks pretty good. So does CrowdStrike. Wasn't that what it's called? Yeah, CrowdStrike. So there you go. And anyway, let's get cruising here, and we'll see what's going on the list, in the market, everything else, and what you guys want to look at. We'll even look at crypto. It does look a lot better, so we'll go through that as well. So here we go, guys. We'll just start it off again. The SPY did close up right there, and then in the after hours, it appeared to be up. This ORIS, again, just sitting on that bottom, guys. And one of these China ones, that 20 is getting close, and it doesn't look bad today. I would definitely keep an eye on that tomorrow right there, and see what's going on with ORIS, Laptop Travel. And guys, keep an eye on this thing. I'm not saying it's definitely popping, but you'll know if it's trying to crawl. And if it does, it'll definitely catch some momentum right there. And CWVX right there is a CrowdStrike one. Is that what that is? And CRWV. Hold on. What is CRWV? I'm not even sure. But anyway, this one's not looking bad. It's another brand new one. There's a lot of new ETFs. I know that. And this is CoreWeave. I was trying to think of what it was. I knew it wasn't CrowdStrike. This is CoreWeave right here, and this is getting set up, guys. As a matter of fact, that bottomed out, and that is looking pretty good right there. So we'll keep an eye on that one. CWVX. Let me jot that down here. CWVX right there. And yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. And CoreWeave right there is our CRWV. Anyway, let's cruise right through and see what's going on. This riot, they pushed their reverse split back in that 20. Looked like it was trying to get down there. That looks like it could be a bottom right there, guys. So it could be a dip and rip. I'll watch it for the rest of this week. Like I said, they pushed the reverse split off for a few days until like next week or whenever. But we'll see if it can get popping off of there. And if not, not really interested. But anyway, it could. So, guys, keep an eye on that one as well. RAYA Riot. And QH right here did the old reverse split, dipped down today. That's why we wanted to look at it. And that 20 is coming down. It does look like it's trying to crawl up. Let me get a better look at it after it closed here. QH. I mean, this thing is a goofy one because again, it's showing me that it ran up and it's not showing me the reverse split. I thought it would have changed itself, but it's just not doing it. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. It looks like it's trying to set up, but not exactly yet. And it did just reverse split. We like when they run immediately after reverse split, that's for sure. And yeah, QH was pretty lifeless right there. You're not kidding, Chris Abate. And I was looking at it today. CRCL right there is kind of had pulled back, but that one's going to get set up. I agree with you, Luis Rodriguez. That one's going to do a full circle right now and get cruising up. This is a fairly new one, had spiked up there, came down, but your 20's coming down. It's getting set up right here. We'll see. It might not cross through it. Honestly, it might. Let's look at this thing. CRCL right there. Whoop. Let me hit an L. And there we go. Yeah, that thing is looking pretty good, I must say. You should bottom out and start to curl up right there for CRCL. I do kind of like that at that moment. And I know we were looking at it pulling back there. QuantumScape. What is that? Oh, that one looks really good, too. That's an auto part company QS. So a bunch of good ones right there. And here we go. We'll continue on our way and see what else is going on with IXHL because that had pulled back a little bit after it ran up. I know it was running up yesterday. I don't remember if it ran up more this morning. I kind of forget. It did spike up this morning and it got up to what, 94 cents, and now it's at 73, and we'll see some pullback on that, but maybe it'll get ready to roll back off because it doesn't look too bad right there. And let's take a look and see what our open door was doing. This one didn't look too bad. It had spiked up yesterday, pulled back there. It looks like it's trying to crawl back up into the top and run up a little bit higher right here for OPEN. And that one isn't looking too bad right there, I must say. And that is your open door. And again, we were so early on it. And so when you see it bouncing around now, it's like, well, we had picked it out at 50 cents. It was a pretty good spot there. It's run up over 550 area. And now it's just setting back up to run up some more. But again, you could have gotten rid of that bad boy at any point up there. And it was a monster of a run. QMCO right here, guys. This one looks like it's trying to set up today and move. It's been moving up right there. Your 20's curling up, and that does look pretty good. And usually we do go away around and look at the rest of the computer hardware and quantum ones from here. That one looks like it pulled back 689 at the end right there. It did have some pullback. I didn't even see that. It looked really good, and of course it doesn't show. That in the after hours, that did pull back. I went, what the heck happened there? Anyway, it is hitting the MACD. Definitely pulled back in the after hours. Let's look at the rest of these guys and see what they look like. RGTI, that's not looking bad. It does have a little bit of time. I do think they still have some time to set up. You can see QUBT definitely has a little bit of time. It's going to run up a little bit, but you have your resistance up here. You have your 50 at 17, and you have some resistance at 18.5 right there. And it could hit both of them and pull back a little bit, but also be just setting up so you can play the run ups, run downs, and everything else in between right there. And that is your QUBT. And QBTS right here is our D wave. This one is getting set up, and I think you're about to see this one start to curl up as well. So that's not looking too bad. And QTUM is Defiance Quantum ETF, and that is trying to roll up there. That actually doesn't look bad. It was up today, and it's trying to move. So maybe they are all trying to get rolling right here for your quantum and computer hardwares. IONQ, I knew that was up today. We talked about it yesterday, and it's not looking bad getting picked up on the 20. Should try to jump up back into the channel at about 4170 area and then get cruising up a little bit more. And ZSPC right here, guys, is up a little bit. And this one is getting set up. I think we're going to see this bad boy finally run. It's a fairly new one. It's not brand spanking new in December. So it's been there for a few months, but it's also, look how far down it is. It's actually at its lows right there. And that thing isn't looking bad. So that is your ZSPC right there. Good old Z Space, your quantum computer hardware ones that we usually look at. And RCAT right here had pulled back. It will get set up, let it pull back a little bit more as it's dipping down. Nothing real crazy. Remember, the line was setting up the other day. It's right there, guys. I'm telling you, I was looking at this. It looked like it bottomed out right there. And the lion looks like it wants to curl up. Not looking bad for LGHL. And how about your JAGX right here? Is a little bit of pullback down to the bottom. It wasn't looking bad the other day, and it is kind of pulling back to try to bounce up, I would say. It has that curl up look right there. Let's take a better look at it. I'll look at JAGX tomorrow and see if it's really good, but it's not looking too bad to me at the moment. But I would rather look at it tomorrow to get a better idea for JAGX. And your cheetah right here, CTNT, that one doesn't look bad either. That looks like it's about to have a nice hard curl up, and your 20's running it up. I think cheetah doesn't look bad at all right there. I think you're safe with that one. I think you might even get a cross through, quick one of them curl throughs right there back through the MACD and get running like a cheetah again. So definitely keep an eye on that, CTNT. And that's your big cats that we usually go through. And let's cruise right back here. Look at UNH, United Health, that had pulled back some more. I think they have some more legal issues or something. I don't even know what the heck they're talking about. United Health stock ticks lower amid expanded Justice Department probe. So something like that. And that's never a good sign, but it will bounce back. And Oscar, I'm telling you guys, this thing is looking pretty good. It was jumping up there today, looking nice for us. So good old OSCR running up. And how about your Griffin right here, GRYP, dipping back down to get that last little setup right here. It's hitting the 20. I think it might come back down a little bit more. And then, guys, that thing's going to be ready to rock and roll real soon. Crypto's getting ready. You can see crazy things happening. Pew right here is getting set up. Grab a gun, and this is about to shoot off as well. That was a nice bottom dip, and it is curling back up there for PEW, another one of them Trump board companies, and still looking pretty good right there. So I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if they end up into a crypto whatever treasury company, and because everything that they do is crypto. And PSQH guys, I remember I was saying it was getting to be in a good spot here, and it certainly is getting ready to run up here for good old PSQH. A little bit of patience pays off, because this one's getting ready to roll right there, and it does look good. And let's take a look at Net Capital. I forget what they even have to do with them, but Laptop Travel did say they had something to do with it. Trump and crypto or something. I'm not even sure. But it is curling up here, and it does look really good. I was looking at it today, and there you go at your NCPL. So you can keep an eye on that one as it curls up. And guys, I'm telling you, this market is looking really good. So just keep your eyes on these things. Then you'll have some little dips here in the next week or so, but things are going to get ripping. So I can already see it happening right there. So that's NCPL. And remember, Gush right here, a little bit of pullback, but look at that setup, guys. It's looking beautiful. And RBNE was kind of flat. I can get there ready. There we go. it was a little bit flat today, nothing real crazy. And TMDE, this one's looking pretty good, guys. I would say keep your eye on this bad boy because that thing's trying to curl up. It was hitting the 20. Might have a little bit of pullback, but it is looking pretty good to get set up to run. OCGN was completely flat there, but does look like it wants to cruise up. So we'll be keeping an eye on OCGN as we always do, and BMNR. These things are looking much better again as crypto's looking way better. And again, we were talking about them the other day. It does have that pullback look, but I have a feeling you're about to see these things start to reverse and get cruising and curling up there. And that is BMNR. I know UPXI was up. We'll look at SBET right here. That was up as well. And it, like I said, guys, this thing is looking so good right there. It's about to get cruising. I would bet SBET gets moving real soon. So you might want to keep an eye on it. And UPXI right here, guys, was running up. That's the Solana one. You guys know I love the Solana. And there you go. It's running up, and it looks like UPXI is looking pretty good right there. So there you go with that bad boy UPXI. So you definitely want to be keeping an eye on that. I mentioned it on the small cap show, and it is running. Mobileye, I'm telling you, this one's getting set up. We've been watching it, and you can see this one getting set up to run up. So another one just getting ready to run up there, MBLY. So you definitely want to keep an eye on Mobileye right there. And like I said, MBLY. And let's take a look at Amplitude. Let's see what it's doing here. It's been pulling back a little after it ran up the other day, last week or whatever. And it's just curling. I think you do have a little more pullback. It's probably your bottom down there at about 1059. So watch for any pullbacks in this area in the 1080s or anything lower if you can get it. But it does look like it's going to pull back just a hair more to get set up. And an AMPL should be a pretty good one. Remember, we've been looking at app loving, and this thing did some app loving up today, and it's been cruising. We looked at it the last like 3 days or so, and this thing has been running 469, 470, and it's still running, and it's hitting some resistance, but it's hitting it pretty strong, I must say. So you might want to keep an eye on app loving right there for a little momentum play, because that is looking pretty good still. And let's see what else is happening on our list over here. And then we'll see what you guys want to look at as well. We were definitely looking at Rich Tech Robotics on the small cap show. Ben did like it. He was talking about it in the Discord. That's why I just let him talk about it. And that thing's rolling right there and may have some momentum for you. So that is RR. And BZAI, that one's not looking bad. It was kind of hopping around a little bit today, but it looks like it wants to curl through right there and try to run. Keep an eye on this one in the next day or two. It does have that weird look. 390 open, 390 close, ran up, ran down, and it could go either way, but it looks like possibly your NVDA earnings are good. That thing's going to run. Not sure what they do. Software application, no idea what they do. But anyway, I would have to assume it's getting set up is what it looks like to me. I know that. And that is your BZAI. And good old plug right here is going to try to plug away. It's getting set up right there. A little bit of pullback. And look at this bad boy. That thing should start to curl up relatively soon. So I would definitely have my eyes on PLUG. It is not looking bad. We'll see if it tries to pull back a little bit tomorrow. Could come back down a little bit there to the 20, I mean, and then get curled up. So plug is ready to plug away. And this EPIX was way down, guys. This thing pulled back a little bit more. It did not really bounce too much. I think it was bouncing this morning, if I remember correctly. I'd have to look over here, EPIX right there. And let's see, yeah, 23 to 34. And it's at 22 right now, 25. That's what it closed, or what it got to in the after hours and closed at. And like I said, let's keep our eye on this, see if it bottomed out. We were watching for that little bounce. It had a little bit of a bounce, nothing real crazy. And they did dip down hardcore yesterday, that's for sure, for EPIX. So that is definitely one we want to keep an eye on there. And of course, IVVD, we were talking about it earlier, and the laptop lowdown and the 4 a.m. Warriors. And this thing was cruising up right there. And actually, Luis Rodriguez had posted it in my in the Discord as well on my page. And yeah, this thing had spiked up pretty nice. It ran up yesterday, then spiked up all the way to 150 today, guys. So it's sitting at 101 right now for IVVD. We'll see. It's hitting that top, hitting some resistance. It could push its way in. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day, that's for sure. What do the futures even look like, guys? I didn't even look at them, to be completely honest with you. Let me just take a quick peek on the Yahoo Finance app right now. We'll pull that up and let's keep on cruising right here. And the futures, S&P is up 0.05%. Dow futures are up 0.05%. And the NASDAQ is up 0.06% right there. And it does look like most things are pretty good. So NVDA, I'm telling you, if they have good earnings, that market's going to go cruising. The chart looks really good. We've seen it look good before, and then it obviously pull back, sell off, get crazy. So I don't even understand earnings, but I'm telling you, it looks good. How about that BENF? That was on the laptop travel list on Sunday. It was looking good. It even spiked up higher today, guys, for BENF. I think you could be done right there. I know it was spiking up yesterday. It did spike up today as well, and then it ran back down. That was an interesting look right there. So BENF running around all over the place. And let's see what else is going on here with DNN. I mentioned this one on the small cap show, and it was getting set up. And there you go. This one's popping up, curling up. Might not necessarily get through that resistance. It is good resistance, but it has good momentum with the 20 trying to curl it up. Denson Mines right here, uranium in Canada. I could have went and visited them. But anyway, DNN not looking bad right there. And again, I mentioned it on the small cap show. We talked about it a few times, and that one is looking pretty good. ASST we talked about last night. That thing was running up. It had been running up the other day. I forget what the news was, but like I said, it was running up right there, 687, but it was jumping around today, 521. Got up to 595. It's at 565 at the moment for ASST. And let's take a look at it. Here you go, guys. I put them down here. Kraft Heinz for you guys. I forgot what it was. I got off the show. I was like, oh yeah, Heinz ketchup is Kraft. And then so I just started typing in Kraft, and then it came up, and it is KHC. So here we go. And honestly, it's not looking too bad right there. You can see it was trying to push through. It looks like it's going to have a little bit of pullback, but that's about to set up as well. But that is what the stock ticker is for ketchup, Heinz ketchup, but it is under Kraft right there. I was also talking about Doritos. They're Fritos Lays, but they're owned by Pepsi. So Pepsi owns Frito-Lay, and that is Pepsi at 147, starting to get into a bullish state right there, but pulling back at the same time. Has that look like it wants to pull itself back up and try to run up? That could be a bottom. I'll have to look at Pepsi tomorrow, see if it is pulling back. Maybe it comes back down a little more. It's up to something right there, that's for sure, but it is getting set up to run in the next few weeks if it doesn't start turning around. And INKT right here, this Mink Therapeutics, this thing wasn't looking bad, guys. Look at this thing trying to curl up. It has a really good curl up right there for INKT. And laptop travel, you might want to add this one to your list right there, because that one looks beautiful. It jumped out at me on my scanner, and I said, wow, that bad boy does look really good right there for INKT. It is Mink Therapeutics, so keep your eye on that thing right there. And here we go. We'll roll right through our laptop travel list real quick, and then we'll see what our Jolie's jams are up to. And then we'll do our SPY, Big Caps, Mag 7, all them guys, see what you guys are talking about, because I did stop going through them. I figured I'd do the list, come back, so we jump back and forth. But you guys post away, and I'll get to everything. ATXG, we were looking at it the other day, and it is up a couple cents right there. Not looking too bad, I must say, and getting curled up. So ATXG is what it is, not AD. ATXG, but yeah, hitting that hitting a little resistance right there, but it is trying to get moving. That is your 50. It has a trend line at 60 cents. So we'll see if it can get rolling, but it has been running up for the last few days right there. Not looking too bad. And let's see what what is it? BRN, can't even read my writing, but Barnwell right there. Good old Barnwell was trying to hop around today as well. Looks like it tried to spike up. I'll have to look at that one. BRN. That is Barnwell, and I mean, it doesn't look bad right there. What is that? 125. Yeah, it did run up in the after hours, looking pretty good. Wasn't paying attention over there. So that one's not looking bad. How about Coot Australian oil seeds? And this is crawling up. We've had this one a few times run up pretty big for us, hitting that 50, but still doesn't look bad right there for COOT. And oh man, I always do that. Hold on, let me go back and there you go. COOT it is. And yeah, that's could spike up a little bit more in the morning. That is not looking bad there for Australian oil seeds. COOT and CTOR is Citius Oncology right here. And this thing, I remember it was in the top right there, pulled all the way back, and now it's setting up to get to the 50 again and possibly try to run through it. So there you go with CTOR. And CYCN, wasn't that running up the other day or setting up? And there you go. Excuse me. It's running up right now, that's for sure. And it's not looking too bad to continue up. It does have a little resistance there for CYCN, but another nice little setup right there. Look at that thing spiking up this today up to 290. So you could see if that one it could just bounce back and then try to get set up a little better. But that is your CYCN FEBO right here. Wow, that one was already running up. Watch this for a little momentum play. It did spike up pretty well. We'll have to see. It did pull back in the after hours, it said. So I'd have to look at that one tomorrow with that spike up. So, yeah, I definitely have to look at that. Lakeshore right here, LSB. And this one is getting to be in a really good spot. So might want to mark LSB down. It's not LSD, it's LSB right there. And that is Lakeshore Biopharma, and it is looking pretty good to try to roll off and bounce off of that line right there. Let's take a better look at LSB right here, and it does look good on both charts. I like when that happens. MTEK is what is that one? MTEK, yeah, Maris Tech right here, and it is kind of curling up with the 20. Another one could hit that resistance and come back down, but we'll set up in the next week or so we can keep an eye on it if it doesn't run. PODC podcast one, that thing looks like it's ready to run. That's for sure. Internet content, not sure what they're up to, but they do obviously must have podcast. And it was running up today, that's for sure. Got over that 20 right there. PODC. And yeah, it's not looking bad to me to continue some momentum tomorrow. So keep your eye for that one. SBFM is like Sunshine something. I don't know what it is. Sunshine Biopharma. That's it. And that's getting set up right there. Looking a lot sunnier, that's for sure. And that is your SBFM. I'd say mark that one down. SKBL, Skyline Builders. I remember looking at this thing. It's finally getting set up here. Remember, guys, we were looking at it just pulling back, and here you go. So you keep an eye on SKBL. Finally looking pretty good there. And let's look at TOP. That is Top Financial Group. It did spike up today. I'd have to look at that one probably tomorrow. And Works right here was trying to spike up today as well and could continue. It did jump up 28 to 63. It's at 28 right now, around there. And that is WORX. WORX right there. And you can see that big spike up 30 to 63, and it's at 33 right now. So there you go with your laptop travel list and a bunch of good ones right there. That's for sure. And let's take a quick look and see what our Jolie's Jams are up to. And then we'll go through and see what our Spy Mag 7, big caps, them guys, and whatever else you guys want to look at. So here we go at Agrify. It was running up yesterday. It was running up today, and it still looks good. And like I said, this is kind of considered a cannabis one, and it is looking really good for some momentum right there. So you might want to keep an eye on Agrify, AGFY. BLNK, good old Blink charging right here. And this one's been running up, and it looks like it's trying to get up there, setting up to get up higher. It'll get up into that channel right there and continue its way up. And again, the market is super bullish, guys, and things do want to run. Sezzle's looking a little better today, trying to cross through. I wasn't sure if it'll get through right there. We'll look at it tomorrow. And again, if it doesn't, not a big deal. It'll pull back just a little bit more there, and we know the next time it will. And if it does this time, we pretty much know it should run up pretty well. Sezzle usually does for us. And how about Sterling? This one was running up. We did see that yesterday, and that one looked good. Remember the engineering or whatever ones we were looking at? Hold on, I just messed that all up. Let me go back to Sterling here. Hold on. There we go. And yeah, it's a engineering and construction, some of the construction ones, but this is curling up pretty nice. Has that nice bullish channel right there. So keep an eye on STRL. And Rivian has been running up, looking better, getting set up, and looks like it wants to run up a little bit more. How about Symbotic looking a little bit better too and wants to curl up? So a lot of these are looking way better. And Nike was pulling back a little bit. I don't think it's terrible. Still has these trend lines right here, has the 20 to 50. So I think it can hold itself up and might make some more room on the chart. And that's about it for Nike. And DXYZ right there, I was pulling back. And like I was saying, just be patient. You can find these good dip opportunities like this bottom right here at 25.90. And you're already at it, jumped up already in the after hours, it looked like. So there you go. It sure did. And that is looking pretty good right there in the after hours. And that's why you got to find them dips and lock them in, because they do happen quick, but they're great opportunities. That's for sure. And there you go with our Jolie's jams and a couple other ones. And let's look at our SPY. Obviously, that was up. We looked at it a few times, but here goes Apple right here. That was looking pretty good. That wants to crawl off tomorrow and get rolling. You can kind of see it looks like it wants to make a hard crawl up. It's bullish. It looks like it wants to run. Apple not looking bad right there. How about Amazon? Looking pretty good as well, trying to curl up right there and get cruising. So Amazon looking pretty good, I must say. AMZN, that does look good right there. And let's see what Google looked like. It did have a little bit of pullback. It was at the top. And let's see what that setup is bringing us. And yeah, it's not looking real bad. It's just a little bit of pullback. Could pull back a little more. We'll look at Google tomorrow in the morning. And let's look at Meta right here. Meta's not too bad, actually, trying to get set up. It has that trend line right there, and that is going to start to curl back up and look way better. And I don't think Meta wants to dip the whole lot right here. ME, if I could find the E, there we go. And there's Meta right there. And again, look at that thing. It should try to start curling up. Even if it don't get through, it should bounce around and wait for the 20 to grab it. But it may even just jump right up there. We know Meta likes to spike up quite a bit. So there you go with META, good old Meta. And Microsoft was pulling back a little bit. We knew it kind of would. Let it pull back a little more to get set up there. And then we'll have to ride Microsoft up because we'll know when it bottomed out. And NVIDIA is right here. All eyes on NVIDIA for tomorrow in the after hours. With earnings coming up, we'll be looking at it during the day, seeing what the chart looks like, what it wants to do. And it is trying to curl up right there. It does look pretty good going into earnings tomorrow. So definitely all eyes will be on NVDA, even if the market's flat or anything. It's all just waiting for this thing tomorrow to have earnings. And every time they have earnings, this is the case, and it either drives up the market or pushes it down. It looks like it wants to drive it up at the moment, that's for sure. So we'll be keeping an eye on it in the morning, and we'll look and see what NVIDIA wants to do. So let's go through the rest of these guys. We left out Tesla, and we don't want to do that because Tesla's been good, and it is running up, and it looks really good right there, like I said. And Michael Anthony, that's why I was telling you that Tesla was going to roll. He was talking about red candles. Do I see red candles or something? I mean, they don't mean anything. It's all about this chart setup right here. And look at Tesla just cruising along, going up and looking pretty good. I'll let you know when it wants to come down. I promise you that. And AMC right here, not looking bad. They're just getting set up, guys. So just let them get set up. They need a little bit of time. You can see it pulling back a little bit. And these things are going to meet up. Your 20 is going to grab it, scoop it up, take it up for a ride, and make it roll. Speaking about rides, I was at Diggerland today, and that place is cool. You get to go and like use like basically excavators and stuff, like real excavators. And obviously you can't drive them around while you're scooping stuff. They have them parked in one spot, but yeah, they have a line of them, and you can just hop on there and just scoop up dirt and it's a really cool place. We never went there before. Dougie loved it. They also have a little tiny water park with it, and it wasn't really crowded. Every time we hopped in a line, it would like just be like just us, and then we'd get out of line and 10 people would be in line. It was the most bizarre thing. But yeah, you could go and take the excavators and try to like knock over bowling pins with it. They had like a ball attached to it. You had to swing it and knock them down. It was really cool. And then you could also drive skid steers and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So we were driving them around a track. So yeah, it's called Diggerland, Digger land, and it is a pretty cool place. It's in New Jersey. I don't think they have many of them throughout the country. I don't even know if there's any of them anywhere else. I know that was the very first one that they had ever opened up. Not sure if they ever opened up another one somewhere else, but yeah, all kinds of crazy tags in the parking lot from all over the place around on the East Coast. So I guess it's a pretty wide attraction to come to, but it is really cool. I'll tell you that. We did have fun. I don't know if I'd go a whole lot. I mean, it's really nice and fun, but I guess you can only ride that stuff. And again, we've always done that kind of stuff, riding skid steers and crazy stuff. So I mean, Dougie was hopping on and just picking up stuff like it was no big deal. It was great. And so yeah, he was having a blast with it. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, that I was talking about going for a ride for AMC. GameStop just getting set up. Let it pull back a little bit, hitting that MACD. I doubt it'll cross down. It should be good to bounce back off right there. Good old Chewy right there. I'm telling you guys, this thing looks incredible. So keep an eye on that. And even Unity is not looking bad right there to try to continue its way up. And Netflix, remember, I told you them three were looking good. All three of them are all up right there. So, and Netflix looks like it's going to continue its way up. So, there you go with that. And let's look at some semiconductors real quick. AVGO, that looks a lot better right there. Just trying to curl up again. Looks like it tried to bottom out. They have earnings coming up September 4th, so they have to be like next week at some point. And it is what? Next Thursday is September 1st, is Monday. September 4th would be Thursday right there. So that's when they have their earnings. MU right here wasn't looking bad, just getting set up to be bullish. Just a little bit of pullback right there. Nothing terrible. And TSM right here, like I said, this thing's getting ready to rock and roll as well. So you want to keep an eye on that one. SMCI is not looking bad either, guys. That thing looks like it's trying to get curled up, ready to roll too. So keep your eyes on that. AMD had been pulling back there, and it is just trying to get set up. I didn't even see that it was up today. Let's look at this bad boy right here, and it is. It's just curling up. It could be bottomed out right there at your 158 area. It's at 166, and AMD is going to be bullish. Just let that 20 come down. Could have a little more pullback on it, so I would just keep an eye on it for the next day or two. QCOM, on the other hand, has been looking really good right there and is setting up to try to run up a little bit higher. And how about Snow? I don't know what I typed in, but there's Snowflake right there, and that does have earnings coming up tomorrow with NVDA, but I don't think their earnings mean too much. It looks like it jumped up in the after hours, so maybe their earnings are already fire right there. Look at that thing, Snowflake. We thought it looked pretty good, and look at that thing, crawled right up, went through, and it does have earnings coming tomorrow. I guess that's a preview for their earnings, and I guess they were really good for Snow. So Snow is popping up. PayPal's been looking pretty good and popping up there today. Looks pretty good to continue its way up there. And how about Intel? It was running up, pulling back a little bit after the government stake. So just let it pull back to get set back up. And Dell right here is trying to get set back up, and it looks like it was running up in the after hours. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if I hear that they have a government stake in their company as well. I could see the government and Trump going after Dell right here. He did say he wants more government stakes in companies. I don't like it, but what are you going to do? IBM right there. I like this today. I mentioned it in the Discord for you guys. It did run up a little bit this morning, pulled back, and then it ran up some more there. So I think IBM is going to be a solid opportunity right here, about to jump up and get cruising. So you might want to keep an eye on good old IBM. And how about your Palantir right there, looking pretty good? And I think you're about to get curled back up on that. Sophie pulled back, but nothing terrible. So I think you'll still get that bouncing up right there on SFOI. And let's look at Mara Riot and Clean Spark. Clean Spark's looking really good. I'm not going to say Mara's not. It's getting set up right there. And I'm telling you, crypto's getting ready to cruise. There's Riot. That's running up at the moment right now. And here is Clean Spark looking pretty good. So keep an eye on all three of them because they look pretty good. Again, Robinhood trying to bounce back up. I do look like Coinbase right there. You can see why this thing's getting set up right there. So Coinbase looking pretty good. And Webull is also not looking bad to get kind of bullish. So there you go with that one. SPCE, good old space, had some pullback. It was curling up pretty nice into the MACD right there. Pulled back. I think it's still going to be fine. Just watch for any more dippage right there. And good old Boeing was running up. And we did like that to try to curl up as well off the 20. And like I said, these things are just setting up, guys. I don't see any correction happening. That's for damn sure. And DJT right there was running up and not looking too bad today. I know that. And I think Luis Rodriguez had mentioned that one right there. And of course, Fun, it usually runs with it. It wasn't really doing a whole lot today. Let's see what it was doing over here. Says it was up a little bit and it did run up a hair. Let me take a look. 266 to 269 back to it's at 266. It opened and closed at the same spot, and then really didn't do a whole lot today. I looked at it because I did see DJT was running up there and looking pretty good. We'll have to look and see what it wants to do there tomorrow. For DJT, like I said, not looking bad right there. Usually when that gets set up, the market generally runs. McDonald's having a little bit of pullback back to your MACD so it can roll back also. That's what you're looking at for that one. And let's take a look at Disney right here. I had been setting up a little easy pullback right there, and probably will be getting set up this week. Oxy pulled back a little bit, and another one. These things are going to get running. Oxy, ExxonMobil, and your gas and oil ones. Oil and gas are looking good. And there you go with them bad boys. So that's what our list looks like. Let me go through, see what you guys are looking at, and we'll go through all them. And then we'll look at crypto real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll try to call it a little early of a night, and be back at 7 a.m. because tomorrow's a NVDA day, and I don't think we're going to have a great look. There are some great setups here, though, guys. And again, crypto looking beautiful. We'll go through it real quick right now. Here's your Bitcoin back at 112. And like I said, I think yesterday was its little bottom right there. Ethereum looked like it was trying to hold itself up on the 20. It is still trying to hold itself up on the 20. Solana is still holding itself up on the 20, looking pretty good. That UPXI was running up. Here is your Ripple right here, and that is getting set up, guys. It's not ready just yet, but it will be pretty soon. And Doge is trying to get set up right there and trying to look good. Here's our Cardano. It had taken a dip down, trying to run back up a little bit. AVAX right there. Same look as the rest of them. XLM is stellar, and that did have that pullback look. The 20's over it and the 50, but it's not looking too bad. Look at all that room it made, and it can get rolling right back up. Good old Chainlink did the same thing, but that's holding up on the 20 right now. And how about Optimism at the moment? Let's see what that's doing. And that bad boy is just kind of pulled back a little bit, and we'll get optimistic on that real soon. Let me take a better look and see what ETF's doing after we did our little spaces on it. Let me take a look and see. It's just kind of hanging out right there at 678 market cap. So it's been kind of just chilling, hanging out right there. And I think we can get it back into that bullish trend and get it really rolling up there. We talked about it on the show. And if you didn't hear it or want to pay attention or listen about it, check it out. We did the spaces. It's recorded on the ETF 500 page. So you just go on there and you can listen to that. We did it right before I came on, really. But so yeah, there you go. And let's go through, see what else is going on here. We looked at a bunch of them coming into here. Let me see. I forget where I left off. QH was lifeless. I did say that, I think, Chris. And QS we looked at. MCD's rolling out 2 new sandwiches on 9/2. The Bacon Special Edition Gold McCrispy. Holy cow. And it's deluxe counterpart. both served on toasted potato rolls with applewood smoked bacon. Luis Rodriguez, there you go with the big news on the McDonald's right there. And a new special edition gold sauce described as a tangy blend of North Carolina style vinegar, barbecue with notes of honey, and smoke and mustard. So there you go. Luis Rodriguez, I think, likes his McDonald's, where he likes the stock, and he knew a lot about the new sandwiches. So there you go, McDonald's. A little plug for you guys, I guess, with your new sandwiches. I don't really eat it. I just told the story. I ate it. I ate Big Mac on my journey. I think when you travel in a car, you have a car trip, you eat McDonald's. They're everywhere, and you just see them golden arches, and you're like, well, that should be trusted. So you just go there, but not on a regular basis. I don't, at least anyway. But here we go. Let's keep on cruising right down. And there you go for you McDonald's fans. They're going to have some new sandwiches right there. And as I constantly talk about eating healthy and stuff. But anyway, there you are. McDonald's is for everybody, I guess, or somebody. BTU Peabody Energy. What the heck is this thing up to right here, Chris? You said you're liking it. And it doesn't look too bad right there. It is crawling up, and it looks pretty good. Says it pulled back a little bit in the after hours, but nothing crazy. BTU. And yeah, I kind of like it too. It's not looking terrible. We have to look at that one again tomorrow. Let me just jot it down right there for BTU. I'll take a look at that one. Then Hims and Hers. What's Hims doing? HIMS right here. And that thing is looking good. I think we have to add that to our list as well, because HIMS is looking good right there. Who jotted that down? Luis Rodriguez. Good look on there. DJTU is a DJT ETF right here. It was curling up. Look at that thing. It is curling up really nice and setting up. So usually when the Trump DJT is setting up, the market generally likes to run. So that thing looks pretty good. There's another indicator right there. And all four U's right there. Uranium Company. Let's see what Energy Fuels is doing. It is jumping up right there and looking pretty good to continue its way into the top. So there's just four U's, and does look like it could be a little momentum play right there. Luis Rodriguez, not bad. And Chris said that off topic. He heard data centers getting built has had an effect on people's electric bills going up. They consume a lot of juice, and the governor gives them perks to bring the money and jobs in. I have heard that too as well, Chris. I do appreciate that feedback. And but yeah, why aren't the data centers actually paying for all the electric they're using? Why would I be paying for it? So you better charge them an assload more money, and don't give them perks to bring jobs and money in, because guess what? We don't need it. People don't need their electric bills going up to $800 in a month and looking ridiculous. So yeah, if that's the case, then these companies that want to have these data centers, they better fork out the money for the electric bill, so that the residents in towns in these areas aren't stuck with their electric bills getting tripled and quadrupled and everything else. It's absolutely absurd, and it's crazy. But yeah, I do appreciate you mentioning that, Chris. We've talked about that a bunch of times as well. IVVD, we looked at it, was running up, and it doesn't look too bad. Check that bad boy out to get into the top. Maybe a little momentum play there. BTCS chart looking similar to SBET. We better take a look at it then there, Luis Rodriguez, BTCS. And let's see right here. It is not looking bad. I think it could definitely be getting set up there. Let's look at it tomorrow. It might have a tiny more pullback, but it is definitely looking pretty decent right there for BTCS. I'm going to jot that one down and kind of make a new list as we go into a holiday weekend. It's always a perfect time, and there's a bunch of them kind of changing around here. How about Lily Ellie right there? And that thing was running up. We did talk about that, and it did blast off right there. It's an expensive one, but it was ripping face. And didn't they have, what did they have going on? They didn't have anything. But anyway, that was ripping. And what is Abercrombie and Finch? That's what I was trying to think of. ANF. Didn't they have their earnings? and that pulled back there. We were talking about this last night or yesterday on the small cap show. I was saying it was like a coin flip. Wasn't sure exactly if it would get through. Looks like it tried to run up at some point. I'm not even sure right there. It's saying it's trying to run up in the after hours. It's at 99.40. What? 99.40. Oh yeah, it is 99.39. I couldn't even see that. Anyway, yeah, it didn't really rip off of its earnings, kind of pulled back. It didn't really have that crazy look as I was saying yesterday, but that one was more of a coin flip. But again, I'm not the earnings guru, I guess. And here we go, Disney. Oh, we did look at all them. I was looking at what you guys were looking at. I totally got lost there. And KULR, let's look at that one right here. KULR, and that is KULR Technology. And let's see what that's up to at the moment. That looks like it could have been bottoming out there and trying to roll off that MACD. I could see that one looking pretty good right there. KULR. We can keep an eye on that one. Laptop Travel looking pretty good right there. And HRTX, let's look at that right here. HRTX, Heron Therapeutics. And I know we looked at it before. They had a different stock ticker. I'm trying to remember what the heck it was, but it definitely wasn't this. I know that. I don't see it down here. HRTX right there in January. HRTX. I swear it was different before, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I just thought it was a different one. Anyway, let's look at the stock chart and see what it wants to do. It isn't looking too bad there, HRTX. Let's see if we like it. It has that 20 right there. It could curl up and get to that 20 at 152. So, yeah, you can look at that for a little run up. You can see it spiking up right there, curling up a little level out, and might try to jump up to the 20 right there. And there you go with them. And LLYX right there is a Lily Ellie two-timer, so got to keep an eye on that one. It was up like 11%, and it looks pretty good right there, guys. So LLYX could be a good one, two-time Lily. And definitely Lily Ellie was looking good. It's an expensive one, so this could be an alternative for you. Why Lily Ellie wants to run up right there. AGMH, let's look at what that one was doing right here. And that was spiking up. Weren't we talking about that on your list yesterday, Laptop Travel? AGMH had a nice rip today, finally. No news, so it'll probably fall back right there. And I don't see any news. I'm pretty sure. Didn't we just look at that thing, AGMH, at some point in the last day or two? But it definitely had a nice rip. Were you looking at it, Chris? I forget, to be honest. It might even try to continue a little momentum. Let's take a better look at it right here, AGMH. That one could honestly keep a little momentum first thing in the morning right there. And yeah, that clean spark looking really good right now. Luis Rodriguez, I must say. And like I said before, I wasn't too thrilled about the Bitcoin miners and stuff. Well, Mara and Riot are kind of looking pretty good to run up. You can see that getting set up, and Riot is running up at the moment. So Riot looks like it could have some momentum right now and keep running up there. What's G Wave doing? That is a green wave, isn't that like a trash company or something like that? With garbage, waste management. Couldn't think of it. Green Wave Technology. There you go. And it is waste management. Recently, just reverse split. Pulling back right there. Their reverse split was what, yesterday, and it pulled back a little bit more. But that one might be an interesting one there. Laptop Travel due for a run up after a post reverse split. I can't disagree with that. I'd probably have to look at it for a day, see what it wants to do tomorrow, and if it wants to be interesting or when it wants to get interesting. Dutch Brothers right here, a restaurant, and they are looking pretty good for Bros. And then Bros look like they're going to run up and hit some resistance up there. It has some room up to 78, and it's not looking bad for BROS. And let's take a look at Deckers because we looked at it last night. It was running up a little bit more after yesterday, and not looking too bad. A little flat right there for DECK, but it was not looking too bad. And yeah, just like I said, a little bit flat, and maybe it even pulls back a hair, but it will continue its way up and stair step up with no problem. How about Hertz? That one was up. It was running around today, and it does look like it wants to get curled up, guys. So HTZ, I do think, is trying to get set back up. I know it was running up, spiking up the other day on some news. I forget what the news was, to be completely honest with you. But anyway, HTZ not looking bad right there. I know it was moving when the rates were talking about getting lowered. They finance a hell of a lot of cars, so it would definitely save them a lot of money. That's for sure for HTZ and Lightbridge LTBR right here. Good old Lightbridge. And this thing's curling up, not looking bad, guys. So look at that thing. It bottomed out there, 1293. You're back at 16. I know Laptop Travel always likes this LTBR one. Good old Lightbridge. And that is looking really good, I must say. So you might want to keep your eyes on Lightbridge. Who mentioned that? Luis Rodriguez and good old RGTI. We've been talking about that one right there. And there you go. It is getting curled up. They recently had their earnings back here, and it was trying to spike up, pull back right now. And now I do think you're going to get back on the 20. And again, these things are just looking great, guys. Cracker Barrel's already ditching its new logo. And that was in the direct reaction to customer negative feedback and social media. And yeah, I had already posted. I thank you, Laptop Travel, because I completely forgot about it. And yeah, and I had already said, I hope they got rid of their woke CEO as well, because she's an idiot, and she certainly is. And CBRL right here is bouncing back up, so it might be a good one to play. And it definitely dipped down pretty good when they tried to change that logo, but CBRL not looking too bad right now. You're right. Them call options were pretty nice right there. ANF, what's that doing at 101 in the after hours right here? And let's see, Abercrombie and Finch. It is up in the after hours, is what you were saying, at 99 right there. But Luis Rodriguez, or somebody just said it was up. Who did? Luis Rodriguez said it was at 101 in the overnight right there, and that's still right about there. So not too bad, but again, I didn't think it was going to be popping. HRTX used to be APPA, and that is something that looks way more familiar. Our HRTX right there, Heron. I knew it was something different. I just remember it being not HRTX. And so thank you very much there. AGMH is a Singapore one. And I know we had talked about that before when these things were running way back when. And so, yeah, that is a Hong Kong computer hardware one. Singapore, a bit unstable. I remember when it had been running like crazy at one point. I forget when it was, but we were looking at it back then. And IONQ is a beauty right there, Laptop Travel. We talked about it the other day, and it is setting up looking pretty good. And it does look like it wants to cruise up there. So good old IONQ looking real good. And that Cracker Barrel also will scrap their plans to follow their remodel program, their new remodel one. So I would hope so. And LOL woke, Curso Pate said. So yeah, woke is like, how does anybody even do that? So yeah, the Cracker Barrel CEO, she got a taste of her own medicine. Guys, it just doesn't work. It's just the dumbest idea. And I'll explain to you why. You guys know I like everybody. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. If you respect me, I respect you, and I'll help you out anyway. So that's just the way things work. I treat everybody the same. I don't care about LGBTQ or any of that nonsense. And I say nonsense loosely because I feel like it's just beaten into our brains anymore. I hate that they teach it to our children. Our children shouldn't even know what it is. They're teaching it to these young kids that, I mean, if you think about it, I say this often, you're talking about kids that you tell the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus are fake to, and yet you're telling them that they can make choices about, like, if they want to be a boy or a girl. It's absolutely bizarre, guys. I mean, it's the craziest thing when you think about it, and nobody cares about any of it. Like, honestly, just don't feed it to our kids. Keep it to yourself and just do whatever the hell you want. Nobody gives a shit. Everybody treats people pretty equally anymore. All you have to do is treat the other person pretty equally, and that's all you need to do. And so yeah, I just don't understand it with that whole woke agenda and trying to push that hardcoreness on people, and people just don't like it, including myself. You guys know I'm a pretty normal human being, and it just drives me insane. I'm like, why do we need this? Nobody needs to even talk about gender stuff, especially with children. It drives me crazy. Can we teach them mathematics and how to write cursive, and then we'll worry about gender shit when they get to high school? How's that? I mean, make it an appropriate time. I mean, it's crazy, guys. And so that just drives me completely insane. And yeah, I don't care what anybody is. Again, I help everybody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I really don't care. I don't judge people any which way. I really just don't care. Do whatever makes you happy. Just, again, I keep things to myself. Just we don't need to beat into our brains that, people are a little bit different. And I think I'm a little bit different, but who cares? You know what I mean? We all just get along. We roll through life. We help each other out. We're nice to each other. It doesn't matter if you want to dress like a girl and you're a guy. I don't give a shit, to be completely honest with you. I could care less. I'll still hold the door for you. I'll say hello and I'll go about my merry way. It really does not matter. And I feel like most people feel that way. And then you just get like, they start like taking out books and stuff at school. They just do the craziest, like bizarre things that you've ever seen. Remember when they were banning like Christmas songs and stuff? I mean, it was completely out of control. And it would drive me nuts. I'm like, what are we talking about? So yeah, that's why it drives me crazy. And again, I don't care what anybody does. Do whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. Just don't hurt people and help others, and it doesn't matter. So that's how I look at things. But yeah, it's just bizarre to me, guys. And so yeah, when people do these woke things and these CEOs like Bud Light, like you bring in, what was her name, Dylan Mulvaney or whatever the hell it was. I mean, who thinks that's a good idea? Like, whose role model is that? I mean, seriously, whose role model? And again, I get there might be a whole group of people that love that idea and whatever. Perfectly fine. I get in groups with people that I think like-minded as well. Basically, a lot of you people, because we all listen to the show and do the same thing. And again, perfectly fine. I'm not beating it into people's heads and trying to change the way my kids are raised in school and what books they're reading. That's where it crosses the line, and I just get crazy about it. I'm like, what are we talking about? So yeah, that's crazy to me. And again, what CEOs are making these decisions? I mean, it's just bizarre to me, guys. So that's why I say if you have that mentality and you're running a company, you're not going to make it successfully. It's just the dumbest idea. Again, you're excluding the other half of the people. Don't exclude anybody. How's that? And if your logo's been around from Cracker Barrel forever, then don't change it. It's just as simple as that. Who cares? That's your logo. It was there before you were the CEO. Deal with it just because you're a woke idiot, and you see what happens when you make woke idiot decisions. It comes and backfires on you, and they should get rid of her because she's a moron. So yeah, that's it, guys. And again, nobody cares. I'm telling you, no one cares. And so yeah, I just don't understand it. So why drive it down people's throats and try to make people pissed off? Again, you're pissing people off because they don't care one way or the other, but they just don't want to deal with it. And then they get labeled as, they're racist or they're, against it. I'm not against anything, guys. You guys know that. I mean, you listen to the show. I help everybody. I could care less what you do in life, and just be nice, and that's it. And so yeah, bizarre stuff, but yeah, that's how I look at it. And we don't need to make woke agendas and make our businesses have these woke agendas. It doesn't work anyway. It's a failing mentality. It's just crazy. They want to give everything away, and what business can operate like that? I mean, it's just bizarre what they want to do. So and look at all the woke the ones that are run by woke people, like cities and stuff. They're all out of control. The theft is crazy. Everything's crazy. So it doesn't work, guys. We all know it doesn't work. And anyway, yeah, just treat everybody equally and perfectly fine, and nobody cares. And that's how I look at it. I've always looked at it that way. So I don't understand why people get so crazy. I get it back in the day growing up. gay people, they would like get almost beat up and stuff. It was kind of sad. And nowadays I don't think anybody even tries to do anything crazy like that. I'm trying to think. There was that one kid, I think his last name was, it was White. I'm trying to remember his name. Poor kid got beat up and he died. And a bunch of kids beat him up because he was gay. And it was the saddest thing ever. I remember it was really horrible. And yeah, that used to take place. I don't think that really goes on anymore. I mean, everybody seems like these kids today, they're just like, everybody's cool with each other. And so it doesn't seem like it's like that crazy. But anyway, that's how I see it. And yeah, you don't want people getting harmed, but again, you don't want it driving down people's throat. But anyway, that's my rant for that. And I'm so glad the Cracker Barrel had to go back. And clearly, you could tell the majority of people do not want to look at it. Yeah, NFL male cheerleaders in leotards. There you go, Chris. Thank you very much. There's another perfect example. Like, it's just going too far, guys. I mean, it's out of control. They're cheerleaders are girls. It's perfectly fine. Yeah, they do have guys and they help them and they throw them in the air. Perfectly normal. It's been going on forever. But when they start running out with leotards on and then they're pom poms and they're doing cartwheels with the girls, it's a little strange. I'm not going to lie. Your kids kind of look around like, what the fuck's going on here? And you got to sit there and explain to them. Now you're in an awkward position. That's the problem, guys. You get put, yeah, you can explain anything to your kids and you're nice about it. You're like, hey, listen, he just likes to do it and it's perfectly fine, not a big deal. But, your kids don't understand this kind of stuff. And now you're put in a situation where you're explaining things that you might not want to explain to them. So, yeah, it just gets a little straight. Matthew Shepard, that was one of them. Yeah, that was definitely it. Matthew Shepard. There you go. I thought the kid's last name was White. Whatever. Thank you, Laptop Travel. I definitely remember some kid back in the day, and I just remember the poor kid was just a gay kid, and a group of kids beat him up, and he died. It was really sad. I was like, what? Like, why would you do that to somebody? I was younger. I remember I was definitely younger, and so yeah, I've always had the mentality of just treating people nice. I mean, it's not really tough to do, and yeah, that you just treat people the way you want to be treated. It's really simple, and you help others. That's it. And so yeah, I just never got it. And but yeah, that's how I look at things. And in Wyoming, very sad. Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, I remember the story. And I just remember I was pretty young back then. Maybe I was in high school, maybe I wasn't. I don't even remember how young I was, but I just remember saying like, "Wow, that's pretty sad." Like kids just beat him up because he was a little bit different. And yeah, it's fine to be different. Everybody's different. I say that all the time, but you don't need to really point out different people all the time, and that's what I feel like happens with the whole thing, and it just gets blown out of proportion sometimes. And again, everyone should just do their thing, treat each other equally, be nice to each other, help each other out, and everything's perfectly fine. To be completely honest with you, you don't see anything, you don't see any issues. So anyway, that's how I look at it. But yeah, I just don't think a woke agenda usually works. You can see it usually fails in business, that's for sure. And Cracker Barrel is what we were talking about. And obviously, they got ripped to shreds. And like Laptop Travel was saying on the call about ETF 500, branding, you got to keep your brand consistent. And if you've been Cracker Barrel for that damn long, why are you going to change it? I mean, that would be absolutely insane. And then you get all that negative feedback and start pissing off customers that have been customers their whole lives. You got people that probably go to Cracker Barrel once a week and now they're all pissed off. So why would you do that? I mean, everybody was perfectly fine with the normal logo. Clearly, they're changing it back to it. Do you really think anybody was upset about it? I just don't get it, guys. I don't get where people think these things. But anyway, maybe I'm out of my mind. I know I am, but clearly that's how I think. But let's look at what you guys want to see and see what else is going on. Don't go down the Italian shapeshifter conspiracy theory. Everyone thinks you're nuts. That's too funny. I am nuts, guys, but like I said, I just don't see why you point people out. I think it doesn't like it's more negative than anything, to be completely honest. But POLW right here, PAL Industries. is one that we were looking at not long ago, Luis Rodriguez, and that thing is getting through that resistance and looking pretty good right there. Let me take a better look at it right here. POWL. And yeah, that is looking really good right there. I had to jot down a whole lot of them tonight. So I would say the markets are definitely getting set up here. That's for sure. And let's see what else is going on. Um, yeah, Luis Rodriguez said it served them right for trying to reinvent the wheel for Cracker Barrel. And like I said, it is just insane. And yeah, Matthew Shepard, that was his name. I do remember that name now. And RALF, what is that? Let's see. Was that something? I don't even know what you're writing right there, Chris. But anyway, there you go. And I would say we just ripped right through. We did our crypto ETF. We looked at everything else. Let me see if we missed anything over here. I'll go through the market and the news and see what's happening over there real quick. Let me just take a quick look, see what we have trending. And there was MDB. Oh yeah, we looked at that last night. Then we look at that at the beginning. I kind of forget already. Mongo right here, MDB, but that one definitely ran up quite a bit in the after hours right there. Here you go. You can see it better as you can see that big spike up. And Neo has been running up here, and that's at China auto manufacturer, and that one had been running up. I thought it was going to pull back there. It ran up a little bit more today, so I guess you can't always know exactly what they're all going to do. And Cracker Barrel is back up. And ASST, we were looking at that one. And let's see, what am I doing right there? Hold on. ASST, there we go. And that thing had been ripping up, and Laptop Travel had mentioned that last night. And let's see, Snow is ripping up too. And NUKK is looking pretty good right here. As a matter of fact, let's see what this nucleus is doing. And that one is spiked up there. It did run up quite a bit. So we'll have to see if that wants to continue tomorrow. Let's see what it says right here. U.S. Treasury yields. The dollar falls as Trump strikes at Fed. U.S. stocks are up. And the Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ futures inch higher with all eyes on the NVIDIA earnings. And we've been saying that too. And S&P 5, I don't even know what that says anything. And Trump's Fed gamble risks pushing key bond rates even higher. And stock futures edge higher ahead of the NVIDIA earnings. Let's go ahead and look at our futures and see what's going on here. There's our currencies right there. There's our USD compared to everybody else. And let's just see right there. Nothing real crazy. Nothing that I see. And the metals right there, gold and silver just kind of hanging out. And copper's going to get set up right there. That meats, I'm telling you. Look at these the cattle is just crazy. Look at your lean. I remember I was telling you guys, people are going to make money on lean hogs right here. These things are about to pop up. I don't know why, but here's your bonds right here. That's what I was going to go to. And let's see what's going on. They're just kind of sitting there, not looking real crazy at all, to be completely honest with you. And let's see, where is the VIX at? I forget where it even went. It's somewheres. I don't even know. Anyway, that's where the hell did it go? Usually I thought was like right there. I have no idea. There it is. It's on that side. I thought it was on the other side. But anyway, let's look at this real quick and see what it wants to do here. And I mean, it doesn't really look like it wants to go cruising up at the moment. So I would say NVIDIA might be pretty safe there to have good earnings tomorrow and get cruising. Your UVXY still dipping down. Looks like it wants to dip down a little bit more right there. And that's what they look like. And why is the dollar down? Why doesn't the investment community not like it when Trump fires a Fed governor? And why do customers not like the new CBRL? That's pretty funny because people want stability and consistency. You're absolutely right there, Laptop Travel. People definitely want that for sure. And CRWD is what? Crowdsource or CrowdStrike? Isn't that what that is? If I write it in, CRWD. CrowdStrike, that is it. And they do have earnings tomorrow as well, right there. You're not kidding. And that one doesn't even look that great. It looks like it's going to bounce down off the MACD at the moment anyway. So simple business 101, you're not kidding right there. Laptop Travel. Just keep it simple for people, and keep it simple and consistent. That's what people do love. They don't like change a whole lot, and the change better be it better blow their socks off their feet if you make a change, and because most people don't care about it. And so there you go, guys. I'd say that's a pretty fun market review right there this evening on a Tuesday night in the end of summer. Can you believe it's the last week of summer, and Labor Day is going to be Monday? So get out and enjoy some time, enjoy the sunlight this week. And tomorrow is going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. So all eyes on the video. We'll be checking it out. We'll be going over to market at 7 a.m. as always. So be sure to tune in for the pre-market show as we do Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. We do this show every night, Sunday night through Thursday night, every Sunday night and Thursday night through Thursday night at 9 p.m. And again, we're going to change the time to 8 p.m. in about a week or two. So I'll let you guys know when we do that. So we'll wrap it up a little bit earlier, make it a little easier for people to get done things and get up at 4 a.m. if you're going to be a 4 a.m. warrior, because it's going to be great. And Laptop Travel just sent the overnight leaderboard. So let me refresh this and see where it's at right here. Let me see if it's working. Let me take a look, unless it was a message. I'm not even sure there, but I'll just post it out because I don't know if my let me put my an X in again. There you go. Let me see now. Now it might work. It wasn't really refreshing. There we go. I see the overnight leaderboard, and that Mongo thing is in the lead at MDB. And how about NCNO and then your Cracker Barrel right there, and SATS, that Echo Star. Remember, we were talking about that last night, so keep an eye on good old SATS right there. And it did jump up pretty significantly, and it is in the top still, and not looking bad right there. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Watch that in the morning, guys, because that could get cruising, and I'll repost it for you guys so you guys can see the overnight leaderboard right there. And thank you very much, Laptop Travel. So there you go, everybody. And I would say, if you did not listen to the Joe Exotic interview from yesterday, go ahead and listen to that. I think it was a pretty good one. Again, talking about the White House. I asked him what he would say to Carol Baskin. You can hear that, what he said. And we talked about some other stuff. Also talked about some like elderly people being in prison and some other guys. So it is an interesting conversation, that's for sure. And if you didn't hear the one before that where we go through the evidence, holy cow, you guys got to listen to that. It's absolutely absurd what we're talking about in that one. So there you go, everybody. And I love that Michael Anthony always hops on at the very end and asks to look at stuff. Western Union Company I wasn't even sure what WU was, but it is Western Union. And let's see, that one is rolling up there. So I guess people are trying to get some cash across the world. You don't see Western Union as often anymore. It used to be so popular, but now I guess Walmart does its own thing, and you can just go there and do it and send it to another Walmart. They're everywhere. So, but Western Union not looking bad right there, I must say. And SATS, what did they do? They went from 7 billion market cap to over 15 billion real quick right there. And I guess so, when AT&T starts buying $23 billion worth of Spectrum licenses, I guess your market cap's going to jump up a little bit, that's for sure. So there you go with that one. And yeah, you got to get in the 4 a.m. game before the woke broker just shut down trades. That's hilarious, Chris. That is great. And we sure will with Webull. Webull doesn't play with no woke nonsense. I can tell you that right now. They threw wokeness right out the window with Webull. They're like, we're going at 4 a.m. We'll do overnight trading. We'll do everything. Who cares? We're all about it. Let's do it. Let's go. And I love it. So there you go, everybody. If you're not using Webull, you might want to pivot over there. It's a lot easier, and you can lock in way more profits. And we're definitely going to be 4 a.m. warriors and then all-day warriors. I figure we'll smash the momentum ones at 4 a.m. and then we'll play the perfect setup so we don't have to kill ourselves all day. And that's what I'm really good at, is I'm really good setup. So we'll take advantage of that. We see things in advance, and we'll play the options like we were before and just destroying the market. So That's the way I look at it. But we'll catch the quick ones with Laptop Travel at 4 a.m. He has a great eye for them. He picks them out perfectly. They move real quick. You can do it fast, lock in some really nice profits right there. And then obviously you can get some nice option setups, and you don't even have to trade them every single day. You just buy some good setups and let them run, and they do pay out pretty significantly. So there you go, guys. In the overnight watch list, just posted in the Discord. Thank you, Laptop Travel. I'll do my night note. I did have IBM, a couple other ones on it, and I knew I wasn't going to be around today. I forgot we were going to Diggerland today. And did you see I found the pumper dumper today? I had no idea there was an actual pumper dumper. I took a picture of it. I had to send it out, and I was like laughing about it. My wife came over. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I finally found the pumper dumper," and she was like cracking up. She's like, "That's pretty funny." I'm like, "I've been looking for that thing my whole life. If it could only give me exactly what it's pumping before it dumps it, it would be nice." And it was just this machine. I have no idea what the hell it was. I think I know like every type of vehicle and machine. And yeah, it was called the pumper dumper. It was pretty hilarious. So I definitely had to post that one out. And what is DSP? Isn't that not what I was thinking? Viant Technology actually looks really good right there, Michael Anthony. Looks like I got to jot that one down as well right there. DSP, I'd say looks pretty, and should be getting set up. Let's look at it over here real quick. And I got to take away a D right there, substituted for an S and a P. And that doesn't look bad right there. Trying to curl up looks really good on that curl up there and on there, and trying to set up at least run up to 11 something and another dollar or so. So that is what it looks like, Chris. And good night, Michael Anthony, Chris, Laptop Travel, and of course, Luis Rodriguez and Doge Mama 9 and everybody else that tunes in and hangs out all the time. I greatly appreciate it. Humi Hunt and a bunch of other people. I thank you very much, everybody, for all the support all the time and checking us out and hanging out each night and each morning. So any questions, feel free to hit me up on X. Obviously, I respond to everybody. And if you have any questions, like I said, if you have any questions, that's exactly what I just said. Hit me up on X. And I was going to say, if you have any questions about the Discord as well, because Laptop Travel, we've been murdering in that thing, guys. Ben had some good calls today, and it's just constant. That's why I love that Discord. It's great. There's a lot of people in it that are great at it. So you can kind of pick and choose what you really like to do. And again, I'm going to be on fire now that the summer is going to be over. So I'm back to full time in another day or so. And yeah, it's going to be great. Like I said, my wife goes back. She starts school up tomorrow. Can you believe that? How crazy is that? She's a teacher. So her first day is back tomorrow. And then the kiddies go back in like a week or so. So we'll be back in full swing of things. I'm kind of excited. I'll miss summer for sure, but definitely excited because I definitely took like a couple weeks off there for vacations, and it was really nice. I'm not going to lie. I feel pretty good, and I'm ready to get rocking and rolling and start growing growing accounts. I can't even talk. We did an hour for the ETF show, hour and a half here, talking nonstop. But anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and we'll be back at 7 a.m. to see what NVIDIA looks like, of course, and everything else in the market. So thank you everybody for tuning in. BTAI was up and in the after hours. And let's look at it. I was looking at BZAI. That's what I was thinking you were talking about. That one's not looking bad, but BTAI right there is BioXL, and that's actually not looking too bad either on that jump up. You can see it right there, BTAI, and that one's probably going to have some momentum in the morning too, guys. So keep an eye on BTAI. And it does look like this market wants to run up right now. So I would assume NVIDIA should be pretty good tomorrow, and the market can go ripping into the Labor Day weekend. That would be spectacular. Let's just put it that way. So there you go, everybody. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your summer because it's coming to an end really quick. Labor Day is Monday. The market will be closed, so it'll be a 3-day weekend. And there you go, everybody. I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. So thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to follow along on YouTube, X, Instagram, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys in the morning. So have a good night, and I'll see you at 7 a.m.